Hi guys, welcome back to my posture series. I thought it would be a 2-week-long series, and it's just kind of, been a couple of weeks now, but we're learning and we're growing, and I'm really excited. This week I want to talk about stress and posture. I want to talk about stress management. Actually, I think it's just so relevant right now when we're dealing with the financial stress and occupational stress for those of you that are back at work, but also stuff like COVID stress, right? Is like a lot of these things are just really out of our control. But one of the things that is in our control is how we respond to stress, and how, I think for me personally, is how do I equip my body with the best systems or best input so that it can deal with these stresses better. Let me explain to you what stress is, right? So if we're really looking at the idea that we either function out of a parasympathetic, which is our rest and digest, or we're functioning out of sympathetic, which is our fight or flight. Now, that fight or flight is a brilliant mechanism, because way back when we were in the bush and you would see a lion coming, you would either want to fight that lion. I don't know if I would fight the lion, but or you want to run away from the lion, right? And what would happen is you would have your brain activated, so like your red nucleus would be activated so that you would almost go into these flexion postures. So it would be rounded shoulders, head jutted forward, and you would have a more shallow breath or shallow breathing, because you kind of want to get as much, but quick, because you want to get as much oxygen in so that you can either fight the lion or run away from the lion. But understanding that this system or this mechanism is actually a short-term mechanism. So what would be happening here is that you would either run away or fight, and then you would resolve back into your rest and digest. Now, as civilization has kind of, as we've moved on in our society, the stresses are so much more, and it is almost constant. So whether it is you're stressing throughout the month about finances, or you're at home and you're stressing about your family, or work stress, COVID stress, what's happening is that the length of time that we're having to deal with these stresses is a lot more, which means that we're functioning out of a sympathetic mode a lot more. And for a lot of people, that's going to feel like anxiety, depression. It's going to feel like your shoulders lifted up to your ears, kind of ready for battle. What is interesting is that with posture and bad posture is when we're sitting at our computers all day and we're sitting and looking at our cell phones all day, we're activating the same nucleus, that red nucleus, that basically is involved with activating the sympathetic nervous system. So when you're in these bad postures, what you're basically telling your body is, hey, we need to be ready for fight or flight. We need to be ready, right? And so you're already up, on top of all these other stresses that we're dealing with, you're actually putting in an extra factor. So one of the ways to kind of deal with stress is to correct your posture. So you can drop your shoulders away from your ears. It's one of the easiest things to do, and you'll automatically feel as soon as you do that, you can breathe, right? And here's the other thing is, when you open up, you actually allow your rib cage to move properly so that you can breathe. And breathing is a part of the rest and digest. So that deep breathing is part of that rest and digest, right? But if you're in this bad posture, your rib cage can't move properly. And what's going to happen there is you're breathing from here again. And what are you telling your body, right? That, hey, we need to be ready for battle, or for running, whichever one you want to choose. And so that's going to be the one thing, right? Is that it's very interesting that the bad posture parallels this and almost encourages stress, right? And then there's other things, other factors like nutrition. If you're eating badly, you're not going to perform well, right? If you're eating badly, what's going to happen is you're going to actually activate more stress responses. The processed food is going to increase inflammation in your system. The high sugar foods are going to decrease your immune system. So what we want to start doing is really being intentional about how do we position our bodies in the best efficiency, competency, if you will, so that we can deal with the stresses that are outside our own control. Another thing is if you're not exercising, you're not going to be able to, manage your stress really well. So in the next video, I'm actually just wanting to talk about stress, posture, and chiropractic, right? And just the link between the three. But here's the thing, right? Go and do your research. I want you to understand that healthcare, not disease care. Healthcare is about being proactive, right? So go up and instead of Googling symptoms, go up and Google, how do I manage stress better? How what is that going to look like? And you're going to find things like learning to breathe deeper. You're going to find things like eating better, exercising, going to see your chiropractor, so these are things that you're going to learn, and we need to start harnessing practices that encourage us to give ourselves, one, a better quality of life, and two, just empower our bodies. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.